Picture this. You have $100,000 sitting in your bank account right now. You have two choices in front of you. Choice one is trading in your old car for something nicer and putting a down payment on a house that finally feels like yours. Choice two is placing that same money into a small income-producing asset that pays you a little bit every single month, but the returns look unimpressive on paper. Most people will tell you they would pick the second option. But watch what actually happens when real money is on the table. The overwhelming majority walks straight into choice one. Here is why. A house and a nicer car are the visible scoreboard of success in this culture. They are the finish line everyone imagines when they picture making it. Meanwhile, the slow monthly cash flow from that small asset feels boring, unglamorous, almost embarrassing to admit you chose. And that exact feeling right there might be the single biggest fork in the road that separates people who build real wealth from people who spend their entire life working and never getting ahead. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you will never look at a paycheck the same way again. What actually separates the rich from the poor? There is a blunt way to say this, and it stings a little. Wealthy people acquire assets. Poor people acquire liabilities. And the middle class, the group most of us belong to, ends up in the worst spot of all because they acquire liabilities that are dressed up to look like assets. Most of us grow up believing wealth comes down to how much you earn or how talented you are at your job. The truth is far less flattering. What actually separates people financially over a lifetime is where every single dollar goes the moment it lands in their hands. So let us define the terms properly, because a textbook will tell you an asset is something you own and a liability is something you owe. That definition might work for an accountant, but it is close to useless for your actual life. Here is the only test that matters. Does this thing put money into your pocket every month going forward, or does it take money out of your pocket every month going forward? If it consistently pays you, it is an asset. If it consistently charges you to own it, insure it, maintain it, or simply keep it running, then no matter how expensive or impressive it looks, it is a liability. Once you start measuring your life through that one lens, a lot of things you assumed were smart decisions start looking very different. A gym membership you never use, a subscription you forgot about, a storage unit full of things you rarely open, all of it quietly falls on the wrong side of that line the moment you look closely. Keep watching, because the next part is going to make you look at your own driveway differently. The house. You think you own buying a home feels like the ultimate symbol of safety. But the moment you sign that mortgage, what actually happens is a 30-year countdown clock starts ticking quietly in the background of your life. Every single month before you even get a chance to decide what you want to do with your paycheck, the bank has already claimed its share. You tell yourself the house is protecting you from the world. In reality, you are borrowing against 30 years of your own future to pay for a small sliver of comfort today. That does not mean owning a home is always the wrong move. It means most people buy the wrong way for the wrong reasons and call it security, when it is actually a long-term obligation wearing a nice disguise. The car that quietly drains you. The car story follows the exact same pattern. Driving it off the lot feels incredible for about a week. Then the quiet bleeding begins. Insurance, maintenance, parking, gas or charging costs, depreciation chipping away at the value every single year whether you drive it or not. That car becomes a silent employee on your payroll, except it never does a single day of work for you. It only ever asks you for more. The real problem was never that people cannot afford these things. The real problem is that a car, a bigger house, a flashy purchase will never once turn around and pay you back. And that is exactly the moment where this video needs to pause and warn you about something even sneakier. How debt gets disguised as success. This culture is remarkably good at rebranding financial pressure as achievement. Long-term debt gets repackaged as stability. 30 years of monthly payments gets repackaged as the American dream. Finally affording something gets repackaged as finally making it. And that is exactly why you see so many people who look financially fine on the outside while feeling completely stretched thin on the inside. Solid income, busy bank statements, constant low-grade anxiety about money. It is almost never because that person failed to work hard enough. It is because the money was assigned to the wrong team from the very beginning. Stay with me, because the next idea might be the most important one in this entire video. Here is a simple way to picture this. Some money you spend turns into sand. The moment it leaves your hand, it starts disappearing, and there is nothing left to show for it later. Other money you place turns into a seed. It goes quiet for a while, and then it slowly grows into more money than you started with. People who genuinely understand wealth are not chasing the appearance of success first. They are chasing future cash flow first. That might look like a small business that generates income month after month. It might be a slice of ownership in a company through stock. It might be a skill so valuable it can be repeated and sold again and again. It might be a rental property that quietly deposits money every month, whether you are working or sleeping. None of those options feel as exciting in the moment as driving home in a brand new car, but they all share one quality that changes everything over time. You put the effort in once, and it keeps paying you back for years. Wealthy people are not secretly cheap, and they are not against enjoying their money. What they actually understand is sequencing. Early on, the principal, the actual capital you are building with, does not get spent on looking impressive. It gets protected and put to work. Later, once that capital is generating consistent returns, that is when the spending and the enjoying begins. Spending your principal means you are eating your own seeds before they ever get a chance to grow. Spending your returns means you are only eating the fruit after the tree has already grown tall. Those are two completely different life structures, and they lead to two completely different outcomes 20 years down the road. And this next part explains exactly where most people fall off that path. Here's something almost nobody warns you about. The most financially dangerous moment in a person's life is usually not when they are broke. It is the moment right after they finally start making decent money. That is exactly when a tempting little voice shows up asking if it is finally time to reward yourself. Everyone else seems to have it. Your income can technically afford the monthly payment. It does not feel like that much pressure yet. But the second debt becomes the core structure holding your life together. Your freedom starts getting quietly taken away piece by piece. You stop being able to leave a job you hate because the payment is due. You stop being able to slow down and think because the bill is due. You stop being able to take a real risk because the fixed cost is due. You even become afraid to get sick because there is no financial cushion left to absorb it. That is not really living. That is being pulled along by your own expenses. The small shift that changes everything. The real turning point almost never looks like winning the lottery or landing some massive payday out of nowhere. It usually starts as one small decision. Stop treating every want as a need. Stop letting your future self pay for choices your present self is making today. Stop chasing the version of success that looks good to other people. Start setting money aside first, even if the amount feels small. Start letting that money attempt to work for you, even if the early results feel slow. Start paying more attention to cash flow than to appearances. The instant you begin doing that, you stop being purely a consumer and you start becoming a producer. That single shift, small as it looks on the surface, quietly rewires the entire structure of your financial future. Before you go, here is the one idea worth remembering above everything else. Which side your money is standing on wealth was never built through one dramatic overnight breakthrough. It gets built through thousands of small decisions that consistently point in the same direction. Every single dollar you spend is essentially a vote. You are either voting for your future freedom or you are voting for how good today looks to other people. You are either putting your money to work for you or you are continuing to work for your debt. Debt will never make you a better version of yourself. It only ever makes you more obedient to it. Real assets are not really about looking wealthier to the people around you. They are about earning the ability to stop one day and know the world cannot pressure you into anything. Money was never the thing that defines who you are as a person, but which side your money stands on quietly determines who you spend the rest of your life working for. Move slowly if you need to. Just make sure you are not moving in the wrong direction. You do not need a massive salary to start this. You do not need a lucky break or a special connection either. You simply need to stop feeding your liabilities long enough to start feeding an asset. Instead, even in a small way, even starting this month. Put your money on your own side first, and time will start working in your favor from there.